forensic community, welcome back to the Forensic Codex. I believe that all of you would have liked my previous video about the growth of forensic sciences in India. And today, in this video, we will be talking about the contributions that paved a way for the forensics to reach its destiny. The contributors who acted as a backbone for the forensic development throughout the world. And in this video, we will be discussing about the eminent contributors. We all know the golden rule of forensics that Edmond Locard gave, that every contact leaves a trace. However, there are other contributors who extended their contributions in different divisions and fields of forensic sciences, estimating it to 33 plus pioneers, 175 plus years, and 20 plus branches that we witness in the present day world. So we will be talking about the minds that built the modern forensic sciences in this video. Consider this a hall of forensic legends where all the legends are sitting, and we will be going chair by chair to every field where we'll be discussing which legend contributed what. First of all, Edmond Locard. He gave us the principle of mutual exchange for forensic science in general forensics. Then Arthur Conan Doyle about forensic thinking based on Sherlock Holmes fiction. Then Bernard Spilsbury. He's known as the father of forensic pathology, and followed by Alphonse Bertillon for criminal identification. We also know Alphonse Bertillon for anthropometry. For the fingerprints, it was Francis Galton. And for DNA fingerprinting, it was Sir Alec Jeffreys or Alec J. Jeffreys. For blood groups, it was Karl Landsteiner. And for criminalistics, it was Hans Gross. For the toxicology, the father of modern toxicology was Matthew Orfila. And for ballistics, the father of ballistics is known as Kelvin H. Goddard. Also, the grandfather of toxicology is Paracelsus. Now, first of all, we will be discussing the father of forensic science, or more known as the one who gave us the exchange principle, Edmond Locard. Every contact leaves a trace. It was Locard's exchange principle. And he was born in Lyon, France, from 1877 till 1966, father of forensic science. So, in criminalistic lab, founded the world's first forensic crime lab in Lyon in 1910. This was about the foundation of the world's forensic first crime lab. And then the exchange principle, every criminal leaves traces, every scene affects the criminal. Trace evidence. Pioneered dust, hair, fiber, and soil analysis as a courtroom evidence. For the first time, these trace evidences were considered as worthy of the courtroom evidence. Here, key works are wrote 7-volume Traite de Criminalistique, the Forensic Bible, written by Edmond Locard. All these four aspects and all these four contributions were given by Edmond Locard. Here's a memory trick which can help you remember things. Locard means lock the scenes, that every lock leaves a mark, every exchange leaves a mark, and every trace leaves a mark, every contact leaves a trace, every trace leaves a mark, and every lock leaves a mark. So we can remember it by the fact that there is a Locard. This can be interpreted by the fact that it locks the scene. It means that every lock leaves a mark. Next, second and third, the storyteller and the pathologist. The storyteller, as I have already mentioned in my previous video as well, that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, is currently known as the pioneer of forensic thinking. He created Sherlock Holmes, the world's first forensic detective, based on forensic thinking, introduced deductive reasoning and trace evidence concept in fiction. His novels inspired real forensic scientists to use logic-based methods. Since till then there was a fact that nobody used the basic logic or forensic thinking while addressing the crime scene, and he paved a way for the forensic thinking to come to the shore. Holmes used fingerprints, tire marks, soil analysis before labs did. He was the one who presented them as an evidence before they were used in the labs. Doyle, there's a memory trick here. Doyle means deduction. Deduction, D for D, Holmes, H, deductive thinking. It means D is for Doyle, deductive, head, Holmes means head, H relating it to the H, and then with head we can relate it to thinking. It means deductive thinking. Next is Bernard Spilsbury, 1877 till 1947 in England. He is known as the father of forensic pathology. He transformed autopsy into a precise court-admissible science. Till then, there was no single evidence of using autopsy as a court-admissible science, which can be presented. Whatever the determinations are made out of the autopsy, they were used as a court-admissible evidence or science. Famous for Crippen murder case 1910, first use of forensic pathology in court. This is very important for this aspect, that this was for the first time where forensic pathology was used as an evidence, used as a recruiting of evidence, famous for Crippen murder case 1910. Next, he developed systematic methods for determining cause of death. What was the cause of the death? What caused the death? So, coined the term forensic pathology as a scientific discipline. Spilsbury, we can remember it by blood spills at autopsy. He studied those spills. So, blood spills at autopsy or during autopsy, we can remember that Spilsbury. Or we can also remember it by the fact that bury means to bury when the one is dead, he's or she's buried, and then before burying, the autopsy is done, and so Spilsbury means forensic pathology. He studied those spills, where based on the autopsy different deductions are made. What happened to the body? Are the wounds antemortem? Are the wounds post-mortem? Or is there any disease that is antemortem or post-mortem? So it is about that only based on pathology and relating it to autopsy. Next one is criminal identity, measurements and fingerprints. Alphonse Bertillon. He is known as the father of criminal identification and also forensic photography. He created Bertillon's 11 body measurement system for identification rather, in 1882, which was used by police worldwide until fingerprints replaced in 1897. Also invented forensic photography, which means two fields. He is related to two fields, that is criminal identification and forensic photography. Mugshot system, face front plus profile, is still used today. It means face front plus profile. This method is still used today. This is still used. Now a memory trick is there, that is Bertillon is equal to two field, body measurements plus photography. We can remember it by B is equal to body measurements and O here Bertillon, that is photography. This is a exam quick trick to remember things. A and B, again this is A and B are the first two words of our alphabets, and hence he is the one who contributed to two fields. Next is Sir Francis Galton. He is known as the father of fingerprints or fingerprint classification. He proved fingerprints are unique to each person, unchanging for life. And even in the identical twins, fingerprints are different. Classified fingerprints into loops, whorls, and arcs. And also published the book entitled Fingerprints in 1892, the first systematic study, where the first systematic study was described. Calculated fingerprint match probability 1 in 64 billion. The probability accounts for 1 in 64 billion for the matching. Here, there's a memory trick, Galton. It means three types, loops, whorls, and arcs. G-A-L. Galton arch loops. Galton arch and loop. It means that he is related to forensic fingerprint classification. Next one is biology detectives. We are remembering all these parts by the field, by the kind of division they contributed to. For example, first of all, we did for the forensic science, like general forensics, and then followed by storytelling and pathology. Then we did for the measurements and fingerprinting. We actually, while analyzing the fingerprints, we actually measure the resemblance. We actually compare the match. So we actually measure. So we are relating it to the measurement along with the criminal ID. Next is the biology detectives, DNA and blood groups. We are remembering all of them by card and relating them to their particular field. Here, biology detectives include DNA and blood group. Here, DNA, father of DNA fingerprints are Alec John Jeffreys, particularly in 1984, DNA fingerprinting was developed and or discovered by accident in September 1984. So you can remember this particular month by the name of the contributor, Sir. It means S, with S it is September, and the date we all know is 1984. First used in Arbok village murders in 1996, exonerated an innocent man. And next changed criminal justice, conviction and exonerations worldwide. Knighted in 1994 for transforming forensic science. Jeffreys, DNA rays, like X-rays, but for your identity. It is like the rays of our identity, and hence DNA rays, that is DNA fingerprinting. Next one is Karl Landsteiner, the father of blood group identification. He discovered ABO blood group. We have four types of blood groups, A, B, O, and AB. In 1901, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1930 for this discovery. Before him, blood transfusions, they randomly kill people because of the fact that nobody knew that which person has which type of blood group, and the transfusions were made very randomly, and this led to killing a lot of patients. Blood groups made forensic serology possible in courts. Also, he discovered RH factor with Wiener critical, that is currently, and that was critical that time as well, very critical for medicine. Here's a memory trick again, which says that land in blood is equal to Landsteiner. Land in blood is equal to ABO. It is A, here land in blood. Karl Landsteiner is land in blood. He landed in blood. Here landed in the blood for its discovery of the blood group system. ABO, we can remember it by here A is the here from the B of blood, and O, ABO. Moving on, now we will be talking about crime, guns, and poison. Again, in another card where the father of criminalistics, who was Hans Gross, he is the one who contributed to the criminalistics and crime scene investigation. He wrote Criminal Investigation in 1893, the first crime scene investigation manual. How to approach the crime scene, what measures to take, how to document, how to photograph, everything. And he coined the word criminalistics for the first time. This is something to be remembered. Established systematic documentation of crime scenes, again related to the crime scenes and everything that is to be accounted for the crime scene. Gross. Now, remembering this for the criminalistics, that who was the discoverer, who's known as the father of criminalistics. Gross crime scenes need gross techniques, and we can remember it by the name Hans Gross. Done. Next one is the father of ballistics, Calvin H. Goddard. Bullet and gun matching. He gave us the comparison microscope to match bullets to gun. He gave us this technique that we can match a bullet to its gun. How? Like based on its individual, based on its characters that are there, based on the various stration marks, based on the various factors, that we can match two bullets or that are produced from the same gun once fired. And Saint Valentine Day Massacre 1929 was the key case which was analyzed based on this analogy. Goddard, god of guns and ballistics. There is a memory trick again, god of guns and ballistics. 30 caliber bullet, the date we can remember it by 1930, Goddard Ballistics Lab established. Here 1930, that is mostly like in pistols there are .30 caliber bullet, where we can remember this date by 30. Goddard Ballistics Lab established. Next one is Matthew Orfila, the father of forensic modern toxicology, or father of modern toxicology, study of poisons in body. Published Trade des Poisons in 1814, the Toxicology Bible, first to systematically study poison effects and on organs, and he was the first one who pioneered use of chemical tests for poison in autopsy. And here there's one again tip, that is he is known as the father of modern toxicology, whereas the grandfather of toxicology is Paracelsus. Orfila, originator of toxicology. Remember it by these two first words, OR, originator of toxicology or original researcher of toxicology. There are some other contributors who contributed for toxicology, documents, blood, criminology. Paracelsus toxicology, and again I told you that he is also known as the father, he's a grandfather of modern toxicology. He is as such known as the father of toxicology, whereas Matthew Orfila is known as the father of modern toxicology. But again, he is related as the grandfather of modern toxicology. Coined the fact that dose makes the poison, which means the type of dose one ingests makes the thing poison. If we consume anything in very excess amount, it becomes poison for the body. Every substance is toxic at a high enough dose. He is also father of pharmacology and early toxicology. Paracelsus, Celsius means temperature or dose. Too hot means death, too much means poison. Again, a memory trick that can help you remember things very quickly. Next is Albert S. Osborne. He was given as a title for father of question documents, as he authored the book Question Documents in 1910 that is still being used for research and other academic purposes, and he developed scientific handwriting and forgery analysis for courts. Question Documents, that is Albert S. Osborne. Osborne, question everything. Osborne, O-S-B-O-R-N, original scientific basis of recognizing notation. Memory trick for remembering the father of question documents. Next one is Edward Piotrowski. He was the one who analyzed bloodstain pattern, and he is known as the father of bloodstain pattern analysis. He wrote the first treatise on bloodstain pattern analysis in 1895. Proved that bloodstain patterns reveal direction, force, type of injury at the crime scene. They can also retrieve a number of factors that are related to the crime at the crime scene, the type of injury, the handedness of the one of the handedness, the type of injury, what it is, the type of weapon, the handedness of the perpetrator, either it was left-handed, right-handed, the position, the location, everything. So Piotrowski, pioneer of blood pattern analysis. PIO means pioneer, Piotrowski. He was the one who studied bloodstain pattern analysis. Next one is Cesare Lombroso, and he is designated for criminology, the father of criminology. He believed that criminals could be identified by physical characteristics. He founded the Italian school of positivist criminology. Lombroso, Lomber, which means criminal face theory. He studied criminal bro. He studied all the factors that were related to the criminal identification. Next one, these are the complete all 20 key contributors that you can remember by this particular table, and you can either take a screenshot of it or note this down so that everything can be remembered in one go. Edmond Locard, forensic thinking. Edmond Locard, forensic science. Author Conan Doyle, forensic thinking. Doyle Spilsbury, forensic pathology. Alphonse Bertillon, criminal ID and photography. Francis Galton, fingerprints. Alec Jeffreys, DNA fingerprinting. Karl Landsteiner, blood group identification. Hans Gross, criminalistics. Matthew Orfila, modern toxicology. Calvin H. Goddard, ballistics. Paracelsus, toxicology. Albert S. Osborne, question documents. Edward Piotrowski, bloodstain pattern. Cesare Lombroso, criminology. Arthur Morant. Again, these are some new contributors which are here with the different fields of forensics. Forensic serology, Hugo Munsterberg, that is forensic psychology. Bernard Greenberry, forensic entomology. Insect-based PMI identification. Virginia Lynch, forensic nursing. Frank John Wilson, forensic accounting, investigation of forensic financial crimes. Oscar Amedo, forensic odontology, dental identification. Next one, these are the master tricks that you can remember one by one in order to get the very quick tips to learn all this and recapitulate things within no time. This is a quiz round. You can pause the video here and check your memory and what you learned in this video. There are 3 questions here. Who is known as the father of forensic science and gave us exchange principle? Alphonse Bertillon is credited with 2 forensic fields. Which pair is correct? Third one is Karl Landsteiner won the Nobel Prize for discovering what? This again round 2. Jeffreys' DNA race is a memory trick for which of the scientist and field? Who wrote the first systematic manual of crime scene investigation in 1839? The phrase "the dose makes the poison" is attributed to which forensic pioneer? This is important and you can remember it after you are done with the recapitulation. Again, a third round. Who discovered fingerprinting by accident in September 1984? I gave you a trick for remembering this September, so I believe that you will recapitulate it and you will learn all these tricks. Next one is the Bernard Spilsbury is famous for which landmark forensic case in 1910? Which scientist founded the world's first forensic crime laboratory in Lyon, France in 1910? I want to make here one important note that for this Narborough village murder, this was for forensic DNA fingerprinting, and so again you have 3 options now to identify which one is the correct. Now at last we will be discussing the important contributors in a very quick way from the mnemonics that I already discussed in the video, and to recapitulate things here, first one is Locard. He gave us the trace principle. For Galton and Bertillon, Galton gave us for the fingerprint classification and Bertillon gave us the body measurements. Jeffreys in DNA fingerprinting changed criminal justice forever in 1984. Landsteiner, ABO blood groups open forensic serology with his discovery. Hans Gross, criminalistics manual in 1893 was launched, and it was the first crime investigation manual. There's an exam alert here, and you should remember that Bertillon and Paulo Zacchia contributed to 2 fields. Both of them contributed to 2 fields each, and for Bertillon it was criminal ID and forensic photography, whereas for Paulo Zacchia it was forensic medicine and forensic pathology. Forensic to medicine pathology together. He contributed to both of them. And you should not miss such tricks. These are very exam important tricks, and as in the last video also I said that truth always leaves a trace, and here also on that note I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and do like, share and subscribe to Forensic Codex to keep yourself updated with the forensic insights.